I'm Jeff Whalen. I'm the principal architect for our Microsoft practice at Logicalis. I'm responsible for our modern work and security portfolios within the Microsoft solution set. One of the main roles that I have here at Logicalis is supporting our digital workplace portion of our business, our digital workplace portfolio, which consists of many different aspects. I'm going to talk a little bit about why that's important, what it's all about, and where companies are going. So digital workplace is really the concept of being able to work anywhere from any device securely, whether that's in the office, out of the office, coffee shop, really kind of embracing that whole remote work, hybrid work type situation. And there's products and solutions that go into enabling your associates or your end customers to be able to do that remote work or hybrid working efficiently. When we talk about some of the areas that our current customer base is struggling with, during the pandemic, we had a lot of temporary solutions or band-aids to be able to work remotely. Maybe we were leveraging VPN, maybe we were leveraging virtual desktop infrastructure, maybe it was some other solution such as like remote desktop services potentially to access our machines that were back in the office. We didn't have laptops readily available due to the chip shortages and a lot of companies mostly being focused with working in the office. So how do we help enable those organizations to have a more permanent solution? And that's really where our DWP portfolio comes into play. It's really centered around the Microsoft 365 infrastructure and stack. We look at three key areas that most customers are really struggling with for a more permanent solution in today's hybrid world. Those three areas are endpoint management, identity and collaboration, and mobility. And when we start to look at these three areas, we have issues with endpoint management. How are we doing that today? How is it still being done in a more on-premise type fashion? Are we using more modern tools and having to be cloud-based where we can manage devices remotely anywhere in the world? These are some of the things that we really kind of focus on and help dive into with our three-phased approach. So in each one of those areas, we take into account what are the business outcomes, where is the alignment with where they're trying to go for the future. And then we look at where they're currently at and assess, okay, what's the maturity and adoption of a more modern endpoint management platform? What we leverage is Intune along with Autopilot to help with rapid provisioning of devices. A lot of businesses will spend up to 8 hours to provision one device. That includes imaging, patching, updating the third-party apps, installing third-party apps, etc. And there's a better way to do that, and it's in a more modern way, which is leveraging Autopilot, which is part of Intune, to be able to deploy devices in as little as 15 minutes remotely. They don't have to be in the office. They don't have to be on the VPN. They don't have to be in a corporately controlled area. They could be working from home. They could grab a new device from a retail location, log in with their credentials, and be pushed down an image and applications that they need. Another area that I mentioned earlier was identity and collaboration. Why is this so important? Most identity management platforms are still based on premises. They're not a cloud-first approach or even a hybrid approach from a hybrid identity perspective. When we look at identity and access management, making sure you have things like single sign-on, multi-factor authentication with conditional access, as well as having things around behavioral analytics to see if there's fraudulent logins that are happening within the company's environment. And one of the pieces that we leverage in our DWP portfolio is Azure Active Directory, and creating at least a hybrid identity, if not a cloud-first identity, to help with the management and the issues that can come up. Self-service password reset, the number one help desk issue. We will help implement that as part of our identity and access management piece. Modern communications. This is something that has really kind of changed over the last 3 years. We're seeing more and more businesses moving to a unified communications as a service type platform or cloud hosted voice, instead of having it be located in their data center where there may not be that many associates still in the office. Why does it make sense to have something back in a corporate data center when everyone's working from home? How do we enable that quickly? And one of the solutions that we have as part of EWP is Microsoft Teams. Leveraging the cloud-hosted voice capability that Teams has brought to the M365 stack. We're able to enable voice quickly and then have ease of management long-term because it is cloud-hosted. It isn't in someone's data center behind a firewall and VPN. And then another area of identity and collaboration is document collaboration, or being able to simultaneously work on things. Workstream collaboration was a new classification that came out by Gartner a few years ago. And really, there's only a few products in the marketplace today, such as Microsoft Teams, Slack, WebEx, that really kind of offer that document collaboration and some of the other aspects like chat and IM and commenting and being able to access files remotely that are cloud hosted. So leveraging things like OneDrive, SharePoint, and Microsoft Teams, we can create a consolidated platform to easily work on documents, assign tasks, have it all within one single client, along with, as I mentioned earlier, voice. And then when it comes to the security aspects of those things, during COVID, people were throwing out and rolling Teams to their whole organization. One of the issues that we see is security. Data loss prevention. How do we prevent that data from walking away or moving to another place that it shouldn't be? How do we actually control that information once it's in the cloud? And we can help with setting up information protection as well as data loss prevention so that doesn't happen. Or in worst case scenario, if someone leaves the company, we can pull those files back from whatever device they were saved on. And then lastly, mobility. This is an area that has been around for a long time. Virtual desktop infrastructure is not new. Virtual applications are not new. And it's about looking at it in a different light and how we're actually deploying those services and actually distributing them out to our end users. Historically, you would have infrastructure running back in the data center from a virtual desktop perspective or virtual apps if you're a Citrix customer. And really, how do we make those legacy applications, but leverage a modern way to access them? Is it through Azure App Proxy? Is it through something like a virtual desktop that's in the cloud? Is there some other means that we can do that? So what we look at in the mobility piece is how well can I use my own device within the organization? BYOD is a big topic. Does that mean we want to look at something such as desktop as a service, potentially hosted up in Azure, leveraging either Azure virtual desktops or Citrix on Azure, depending on what's the right fit for the end customer and the end users. We want to make it a good experience overall. And really it's helping to get back to how can we enable that mantra, work from anywhere, from any device securely. And with our DWP platform, that's what we offer our customers. And we really do it in 3 different ways. We align business outcomes to industry-leading solutions. It's not just Microsoft, it can be some other pieces too to bring into that overall solution. Then we have our transformative services that actually implement what we've discovered in the align phase. And then last, it's scale. Scale services are basically a fully managed wrapper around our DWP portfolio. So we're the ones doing the care and feeding. We're also helping with the proactive management of these solutions. New features are coming out every 2 weeks in Microsoft 365. 2 weeks in Azure, there's new features. How can we help you adopt those new features and still be compliant from our security perspective? That's what we focus on in our scale phase of this. And another big thing for Logicalis is our recognition from the industry leaders such as Microsoft. We're an Azure Expert MSP, one of only 35 globally. We have solution partner designations in 5 of the 6 modern work and security areas. If you're interested in any of the things we discussed today from a digital workplace portfolio perspective, or would like to participate in a free collaboration assessment, please contact your local Logicalis account executive or go to logicalis.com and contact us, and we'll reach out to you on the next steps to perform this collaboration assessment. Thank you.